we come to a new point, that is a tiger in the zoo. So here the point is comparing or giving contrast between a tiger in the zoo and a tiger in its natural habitat. So tiger in the zoo means in olden times, nowadays they are allowed to be free, given certain areas, isn't it? But in olden times, every animal are seen put in the cages. They are given cages and they are being put over there, and timely food and everything are being given. Understood? So now also food everything is being given, but they are given space, that is open air. Now they are in open air. Understood? So now the point is saying, think about the life between a tiger who is put in the cage and the other one who is allowed to live in his natural habitat. So how is the animal? How do the animal feel when he is put inside a cage? All his freedom has been locked up, isn't it? And he is not able to do anything of his own. All his strength and everything, all his feelings, everything are been inside that locked cage, isn't it? But in the other one, natural habitat, when he is allowed to live according to him, he is able to enjoy the life. Here, who is actually enjoying? The second one, who is allowed to live freely, isn't it? He is able to enjoy the life. So here the point of contrast between the life of both the feelings, especially the feelings of both the situations. Understood? Now I am going to read the point. He stops in his way. So here, while reading, we have to think that which lines or which stanzas are saying, pointing to the tiger who is in the zoo and the other one in the natural habitat. The first four lines. He stalks in his vivid strides the few steps of his cage of parts of velvet quiet in his quiet range. So he is being put where? In the cage. And in the cage, a limited area, only a limited area is there. In that limited area, within the limited area, what he is doing? He is just stalking. Stalk means walk. He is just walking. And he is having that soft paws, velvet, like a velvet, they are very soft. With that soft paws, what he is doing? Just moving or just walking within that space given inside the cage. But at the same time, how is he feeling? He is feeling very angry. Why he is feeling very angry? Because all his freedom, everything, all his strength, everything is being where? Locked up. Everything are being locked up. Where are they being locked up? Inside that cage. He is not able to show his strength or show his feelings to anybody. Understood? So everything is suppressed. When he is in the cage, everything is suppressed. So even though he is walking within the space given, within the limited space, what is in his mind? That anger is there. Understood? So these four lines say about the which tiger? The one which is being put in the cage. Now the next four. He should be lurking in shadow, sliding through long grass near the water hole where plum deer pass. So these four lines. He should be lurking in shadow, sliding through long grass near the water hole where plum deer pass. So which tiger? When he is given free, that means when he is allowed to live in his own area, when he is free to move about himself, do everything according to him, isn't it? So what he will do? He will be lurking in shadows. Lurking in shadows means he will be hiding. Why he is hiding? In shadows or in long grass areas, he knows near the long grass areas always there will be a water hole, that will be area, water area. And in that water area, the other animals used to come over there for drinking water. So when those animals come over there, who is able to catch hold of them? The one which is being which is hiding over there, especially the tiger. What will he do? He will wait there for the plum deer to come. Plum means the fat one. Very fat deer. He knows that who will come over there? The deers will come over there for drinking water. For that, preparations he is making. What preparations he is making? Hiding among the long grassy area. Understood? He should be lurking in shadow. So they are thinking that if he is not put in the cage, what will he do? He will be hiding in those areas, sliding through long grass where near the water. That means near the watery area, the long grasses will be there, and there he will be hiding himself. Where from deer pass, why he is hiding there? So that he know that who will come over there? The deer will come over there, and it will be easy for him to jump on them, isn't it? So that is the animal who is allowed to live freely. So when he is allowed to live freely, he is able to catch his own prey. But other one, when he is put in the cage, special time the food is given to them. Understood? Now coming to the third, he should be snaring around the houses at the jungle's edge, wearing his white fangs, his claws, terrorizing the village. And again, that is also saying about the animal who is free, isn't it? Who is allowed to live freely. What he will do? So once he will be waiting there for his own prey, own food. The next, what he will do? He will be frightening the whole villagers. How he is frightening the whole villagers? He should be snaring around houses, sitting around the houses. That means mainly near the forest. At the edge of the forest, what is mostly seen? Only the village areas, isn't it? Not the township. In the towns, these animals cannot live, isn't it? So, once they are in the forest, then the edge of the forest, what will be there? Villages will be there, and village peoples will be there, and houses and their cultivation, everything is there. So for these animals who are in the forest, it is easy for them to go to such places and have their food, isn't it? Similarly, here also, what will the tiger do? They will be sitting around the houses at the jungle stage, at the edge of the jungle, at the end of the jungle means the forest. At the end of the forest, there is a village, and they will be waiting over there. Wearing his white fangs. Fangs means teeth. Fangs means teeth. Bearing means showing. So what he will be showing? His white teeth, his claws, terrorizing the village, making the villagers frightening, showing his white teeth and claws. Seems to making the villagers fear. Why? Because when seeing the tiger with such appearance, it is sure that he will attack, isn't it? So it is a great fear for the people who is living over there. So once when he is left free to live, he is enjoying his life. He is enjoying means how he is enjoying? He is able to have his own food. Then he is able to attack anybody, isn't it? But when he is put inside a place, limited area, and everything is being locked inside. So these are the difference. Understood? But so these two, that means he should be lurking in shadow, sliding through long grass near the water pool where plump deer pass. He should be snaring around houses at the jungle's edge, wearing his white fangs, his claws terrorizing the village. So these 8 lines says about the tiger. Which tiger? Who is allowed to live in the natural habitat. So he is always having that attacking nature, isn't it? Having his own prey, he has to attack only. And at the same time, when he is put inside, timely food is being given to him, isn't it? There, if he likes or not, he has to take it. Otherwise, according to his wish, he is able to get his own prey. Got the idea now? Now again we are coming back to the tiger who is being put inside the cage. But he is locked in a concrete itself. So he stands behind a bars, stopping the length of his cage, ignoring visitors. Now these 8 lines which comes in between said about the tiger who lives in the natural habitat. That means he is able to do everything of his own. Now coming to the other tiger who is inside the cage. Now what he will do? First what we have seen. Now keeping that anger in his mind, what he is doing? Just walking inside that limited area. Now here, but he is locked in a concrete cell. His strength began back. So here now the tiger who wanted to catch hold of the deer or kill the deer or go and frighten the villagers. That tiger is now put under where? Locked in the concrete cell. Cemented, concrete means cemented cell. His strength behind bars and all his strength is where? Locked inside the bar. That means all his strength is now where only? Inside the cage. Can he show it outside? No, he cannot show it outside. Everything is being forbidden for him. Suppressed. Everything is suppressed. Stopping the length of his cage, ignoring visitors. Ignore means not taking any interest. No interest. That means in the zoo, visitors are there, isn't it? All the time we can see people coming over there, and he had no interest in looking at them. But at the same time, when he is outside, if anybody walks on the way, what will happen? It is sure that he will be attacked, isn't it? He is able to jump over that person. Here, all the people, even though they are crowded in front of him, he is not doing anything. Why? Because he cannot show his strength. His strength is being locked inside the room. He is not able to come out of it. Only once, if he comes out of it, he is able to attack him. But he is locked in a concrete cell with strength behind the bars. Behind bars with an iron bar. Stopping the length of his cage, ignoring visitors. So he had no interest to anything. Understood? Even though a big crowd is there in front of him also, he can't do anything because the bars of the cage will provide him from doing anything. He hears the last voice at night, the patrolling cars, and stares with his brilliant eyes at the brilliant stars. So in the night, what the daytime and all the visitors will be there, and just he is just looking at them silently, but have no interest in them, isn't it? And at night, what happens? Just looking at the stars with his bright eyes, and in between he could hear the patrolling cars. That means the keepers, the zookeepers passing of the cars. He hears that is the last voice of the night. The patrolling cars and stares with his brilliant eyes at the brilliant stars. So just sleeping over there inside the cage. That means spending the whole life till the end of his life. Where is he? He is only inside the cage. There is his life within that four walls. Understood? Not able to do anything. Just staring at the stars with his bright eyes. That means showing what the feeling of what unpleasure. Feeling of unpleasure and restless. Nothing is there. Nothing he can do. He knows that he can't show any of his strength. No enjoyment of his life. Understood? So this is the contrast given by the poet between a tiger in the zoo and the tiger in the natural habitat. I'll read once more the whole poem. He stalks in his vivid stripes the few steps of his cage on pads of velvet quiet in his quiet range. He should be lurking in shadow, sliding through long grass near the water hole where plum deer pass. He should be snaring around houses at the jungle's edge, bearing his white fangs, his claws terrorizing the village. But he is locked in a concrete cell, his strength behind bars, stopping the length of his cage, ignoring visitors. He hears the last voice at night, the patrolling cars, and stares with his brilliant eyes at the brilliant stars. Now you understood how is the tiger when put in the cage and when he is outside. That means Enjoying the life in the natural habitat is far different from one which is being locked up inside a cage. Suppose if we take a bird also, we can see the birds are being put in the cage, isn't it? Once when they are being locked up, how is their life? You think about yourself. We are not now, it is lockdown and we are all inside our houses, isn't it? Are we enjoying our life really? No, really we are not enjoying our life, isn't it? Here, when you come to school and study your lessons, it is far different than once when you are sitting in the home and doing your lessons through online, isn't it? Similarly, when the life may, if you want to enjoy the life, we have to be free in everything, isn't it? So even the birds, when they are put in the cage, what happens? We are giving them food, water and everything, isn't it? But at the same time, what they don't have the freedom. They don't have the freedom to enjoy the air outside, isn't it? Or to fly high up in the blue sky, or to see their companions of their own, isn't it? So nothing is being given to them. Everything is being stopped over when they are being locked inside somewhere, isn't it? So can we show that cruelty to the animals? No, even a small bird needs what? Its own freedom. That means in order to enjoy their life, it needs the freedom. So actually when we are putting the animals or birds or whatever is there inside a cage, it is being, we are showing cruelty towards that living being, isn't it? When suppose you think you are put inside a room and you are not allowed to come out, not allowed to see your friends or anybody, talk to anybody, how do you feel? It is a great cruelty, isn't it? Showing towards you. That means everything is being suppressed, everything is being stopped over there. Your full freedom, your full enjoyment, your feelings and emotions, there is no one to see, isn't it? So we should not be cruel to anyone in such a manner. Understood now? Stop. Now coming to the exercise. See, certain questions I will be sending to you. I will explain the questions for you. Contrast between tiger in the zoo and in the natural habitat. That means compare between the life circle of the tiger in the zoo and the tiger in the natural habitat. A tiger in the zoo has no freedom as he is locked inside the cage. He cannot admire the nature. He could walk or can take few steps within the limited space inside the cage, and are not able to see or be with the others. As the cage is not their natural habitat, they are silent but in anger. A tiger in the natural habitat has freedom to move anywhere, catch its prey and enjoy the natural life. So you got the idea, the contrast between the tiger in the zoo and the tiger in the natural. The one which is being in the zoo, the freedom is fully locked up inside the cage. He is able to move only within the given space. How much space is there in the cage? Only that much area he is allowed to move himself. But at the same time, the tiger which is being allowed to move, which is allowed to live in the forest according to his code, he is able to move from one end to the other. There is no one to stop him. That is the answer for the first one. Now giving the explanation for the lines from your textbook. On pads of velvet white, in his quiet rage. Rage means anger. Velvet means talking about the soft gloss. The lines are saying about the tiger in the zoo. He can walk only within the limited space inside the cage. His paws are very soft like a velvet. He walks silently but in anger. The poet is saying that cage is not his natural habitat, so the anger is there in him. So understood now? That means he is having the soft paws and everything he is having, but with that soft paws, the only thing he can do inside the cage is to move in within, isn't it? He is not able to come out. But once when he is outside, what happens? The claws will come out, isn't it? And he can attack anybody. The sharp claws have been seen, isn't it? Now he cannot show that claws outside. Only with the velvet paws he can move from one end to the other within the area, isn't it? And then at the same time, what feeling he is having? He is having that anger in him. Why he is having that anger? Because totally his life is being suppressed there. Everything is being suppressed there. Now the next lines. And stares with his brilliant eyes at the brilliant stars. As the tiger is inside the cage, his freedom is lost forever. At night he would hear the voice of the patrolling cars and he would look to the stars with his shining eyes, feeling of unpleasant and restless in the cage. So, how is the night? So the day, if it is the daytime and if it is the tiger being allowed to live in the natural habitat, what he will do? He will be hiding behind the long grass near the water area, waiting for the fat deer to come, isn't it? That means getting preparation to catch hold of the deer, that is his prey. And then what he will do? That night, what he will do? He will go to the edge of the forest where the village people are living. There he will be waiting and showing his white teeth and claws and frightening the poor villagers. So if he is put outside like that, he can do all these things. But can the tiger do? He cannot do it. The only thing he can do is at night what he can do? When the night comes, the other one will go near the village to frighten them, isn't it? And the one who is in the cage just stare at the stars, with his bright eyes, and the only sound he could hear is the passing of the cars, patrolling cars. Got the idea? Then the additional questions. Describe some of the activities of the tiger as stated by the poet. The tiger in the cage is talking the few steps of it with his velvet-like paws. His strength is locked behind the bars, walking within the limited space, ignoring the visitors because of no interest. He could hear the voice of the patrolling car at night, and he stares at the stars with his bright shining eyes, feeling unpleasant and restless in the cage. That means the only thing he can do is daytime in front of him, even though he can see a large crowd of people, he is not able to come out of the space, out of the cage, isn't it? And show his anger over there. Suppose you think if the tiger is being allowed to come out from such a area, what will he do? He will not be knowing anything. He will just go on attacking only, isn't it? Because he don't know where is the forest or where he has to go. So the only thing what he will do is just attack whoever is in front of him. Nowadays in the newspaper and all we can see the news that the tigers are coming to the areas and destroying the cultivation and crops of the people and even attacking the animals like dogs, isn't it? So they are very dangerous. They cannot be put anywhere. Only they can be put inside the cage only, isn't it? Otherwise, it is sure they will come over and attack animals as well as human beings, isn't it? In our area, we have seen that. Now, one more question is there. Why does the tiger express his anger poetically? So that question I am going to give you. Just to find it from the textbook. Why he is getting anger quietly? Because he is always in a silent mood. Why he is always in a silent mood? Because he is not able to show his anger towards anybody, isn't it? Showing his anger, how he is showing his anger? Just walking inside the cage and ignoring all the people who is coming over there. He cannot show his anger towards them, isn't it? What does the poet want to convey through the poet? So what message is the poet giving to it? Showing the we should not be cruel towards animals. They are also like human beings. They are having the right to live according to them, isn't it? Yes or no? Yes, they also have the right to live according to them. Full freedom has to be given to them. They are not allowed to put in cages. But nowadays we can see, even all our time also we can see that many birds are being put, where birds as well as animals are being put, isn't it? But especially in every house you can see birds are there. For our own thing, we are putting everything inside the cage. That means we are stopping the enjoyment of their life. So we should not show such cruelty to those living beings. Understood? So these are the questions I will be sending to you. One more additional poem is given over there. Read the following two poems, one about a tiger and the other about a panther. Then discuss, are zoos necessary for the protection or conservation of such species of animals? Are they useful for educating the public? Are these alternatives in zoos? Now the tiger or the tiger. The tiger behind the bars of his cage growls. The tiger behind the bars of his cage snarls. The tiger behind the bars of his cage roars. Then he thinks, it would be nice not to be behind the bars all the time. So when he is inside the cage, he is making all kind of noise. Why he is making all kind of noise? Because what is inside him? That anger is inside him. So when he is not allowed to do anything, he makes such kind of noise. That sound come automatically from him showing his anger. It would be nice not to be behind the bars all the time. Because they spoil my view. I wish I were wild, not so slow. But if I were wild, hunters might shoot me. But if I were wild, food might poison me. But if I were wild, water might drown me. Then he stops thinking. And a tiger behind the bars of the cage growls, tiger behind the bars of the cage snares, tiger behind the bars of the cage roars. So at the same time, he is saying also, if he is outside, so when he is inside the cage, he is making all such noises because he cannot come out showing his anger. So once when he is put outside, he is saying the dangers. What is the first thing? The hunter, he will come, he will get inside the forest and kills him. Not hunters might shoot me. If I were wild, food might poison him. So nowadays the tigers are coming to the area where people are living. So if they come to the areas where people are living, what will they do? They will poison, isn't it? They will give poison to destroy that or kill that particular wild animal. So it is sure. Then again he say, if I were wild, water might drown me. So he coming out of the forest. When he is inside the forest, he may be knowing the areas, what are the things are there inside the forest. So once when he is out of the forest, he do not know the areas. He cannot say that he know the area very well. Only to a particular limit he will be able to know. So if he goes beyond that, he is not able to know. So that time maybe some rivers or ponds or well, even the well also, what will happen? He may get inside that, isn't it, and get drowned himself. Then he stops saying. So these two thinkings are coming at the same time to the tiger. So he is saying that if he is inside the, so in both ways, what is he saying? Danger is there, he is not enjoying the life. Yes or no? Yes, in both cases he is not enjoying the life. Only for that enjoyment is only for a limited time. Now saying about the panther. His vision from the constantly passing bars has grown so weary that he cannot hold anything else. It seems to him there are 1,000 bars and behind the bars no world. So when he is put inside the cage, he knows only that is the world. He don't know about the outside the world. He thinks what is there inside that. That means behind, inside that box. As he paces in crumbled circles over and over, the movement of his powerful soft strides is like a ritual dance around the center in which a mighty will stand paralyzed. So all the time he will be moving from one end to the going in a circle. So going in a circle means after some time he feels how paralyzed. He feels like a paralyzed. Only at times the curtain of the pupils lifts quietly, an image enters in, rushes down through the tensed, arrested muscles, plunges into the heart and is gone. So only when he is allowed to live according to him only he can enjoy the life. So in both ways, according to the tiger, he is saying that the tiger in both ways, even though when he is in the cage or when he is outside, he is facing danger. So when he is inside the cage, he is showing his anger only inside, and when he is outside, because he is outside and showing his anger outside, what happens? The human beings will be after them. They will try to kill him. Understood? So I read again the poem once more. If any doubt is there, please ask it. Understood? He stalks in his vivid stripes the few steps of his cage on pads of velvet quiet in his quiet rage. That means 4 lines you understood. Change that. Which is clear stripes. He is walking where taking. He cannot walk also long distance. Only steps. Few steps can be taken inside that limited area. On pads of velvet quiet. On pads of velvet means it is a soft paws in his quiet range. At the same time, having the feeling of anger. He should be lurking in shadow, sliding through long grass near the water road where plump deer pass. Then he should be lurking in shadow means if he is outside, what he will be doing? He will be hiding in the shadows through long grass near the water hole. Water hole means a watery area or the stream where plump deer pass. So that whole area, hole means the area where the water is there. It can be a river or a stream or a pond, can be any watery area. There who will be coming the plump, especially fat deers will be coming over there, and he is hiding among the long grass waiting for the prey to come, and it is easy for him to catch hold of it. He should be snaring around houses at the jungle edge, bearing his white fangs, his claws traversing the village. And in the night, what he will do? He will go to the end of the forest, wait there or sit there near the houses where the people are living, and with his white teeth and claws, he frightened those villagers. Nowadays, it is common in our area also. But he is locked in a concrete cell, his strength locked behind, stalking the length of his cage, ignoring visitors. But everything is stopped for the tiger who is being put in the cage. All his strength, everything is being locked up, and he is only able to move around. And even though a large crowd is there in front of him, he is ignoring them. He had no interest on them. He hears the last voice at night, the patrolling cars, and stares with his brilliant eyes at the brilliant stars. Then the last, the end of the day, nearly to the end of the night, what he can hear only the passing of the cars. The patrolling means the people who is taking guard over the animals. So only those cars, passing of those cars, the sound of those cars, and lying in his own cage, looking at the bright stars with his bright eyes. Only that thing the tiger can do. See, now we come to the end of the poem. Understood? So, let me go back to the other lesson, Nelson Mandela. Some doubts were there concerned about the answers of that Nelson Mandela. It has been come to my notice. So I will be teaching, taking those classes, explaining in Malayalam later on. Yesterday I was not having no time, so tomorrow, day after tomorrow, I will be sending to you. Understood? So here, the Nelson Mandela's, the first step, it is being said about the time, the first time in the history of America. South Africa getting freedom along with the leveling or lining up along with the white people, that is the Americans. Understood? So the here Nelson Mandela coming the president, and the first speech is being given, and the leaders are from everywhere, all over the international leaders. It is being said international leaders all over the world are coming over there for this grand celebration. Understood? So they all are coming over there for the grand celebration, and he is saying in the history of the land, first they are gaining that freedom. Understood? Then that is what he is saying about in this speech. That means saying about that political difference, the race, difference in the race, the color. That means the white people as well as the black people. How are they being treated by the white people? Only mere slaves. They are being considered only as slaves. Slaves means equal to cattle. That means they are allowed to do only work. May I ask them to do any kind of work, and they are under the white people, given little food as well as a little money also. Money which is not being said also. Only they are asked to do work and work, isn't it? And so in that condition, that stage had been changed, and now they are getting their own democracy, their republic, and they are coming over there. That means now treating the white as well as the black in the equal manner. That is what the speech said by, given by Nelson Mandela. Then coming to the next portion.